This is a Pro Life podcast. I am your host, Deonte Clyburn. I'm sitting here with one of the goats to Louisville. He's gonna act shy and all humble about it, but he's one of the guys putting on right now. The most respect to him, Mr. Dontez Byrd, man.
Hey,
one of the goats.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, man, we was just, kicking it a little bit earlier, nothing too much. I want to start at right now because I don't really know you as far as interpersonal level goes and sitting down kicking it with you. I just know you as far as football goes, and you a good cat that I heard, from everybody else. But man, tell me where you from in the city, man?
I'm from the Oklahoma area. You know, I grew up playing for Highview Mustangs.
Oh, y'all stink. y'all
Highview Mustangs.
A little bit.
Played for them every year. You know, I was quarterback all little league up until junior year of high school.
Yeah, did Ramon?
Ramon, yep.
Did he play? He played for Highview, didn't he?
Yep. Me and him both played.
Oh yeah, it was y'all two out there. Yep. Man, we played y'all. Yellow Jackets?
Yellow Jackets. So we might have scrimmaged.
Yeah, we might have scrimmaged.
Yeah, we ain't play yet.
Cause I think we did scrimmage y'all when y'all had
Alex Miller.
Yeah, y'all had okay.
Yeah.
Y'all had Beach out there.
1-2 combo. Yeah.
I had Beach out there for a minute. Then y'all have Woodis?
We had Beach, Woodis, Richard Kennedy. We had some people out there. Ooh. We was all right. Big Andre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Decent out there. Okay. So man, tell me, you played quarterback all the way up until when?
Junior year of high school.
Junior year of high school. You play quarterback for Ballard?
Freshman year. Yep. Freshman year of high school.
What other position you? Well,
of
course you played
quarterback
everything else.
Receiver and defensive back. Yep.
I thought Brandon was quarterback. Brandon Richardson.
Nah, we all was. We Brandon Richardson, me, and then we had another quarterback named Stuart Streeter. So it was us three.
And then Mo, and then it was
Mo was in the varsity. Yep.
Man, so well, I just last episode I asked Reggie just because y'all went to U of L with him and stuff like that, but you went to Ballard and we had to play against y'all a few times. But being out there with Devontae Parker and you see Mo just throwing it up to him, telling him to go get him, and what you thinking and how you supposed to get on the field?
So being around them, I actually got to see it up hand and every single day in practice and everything. I think Mo is a really good quarterback.
Oh yeah.
I
dislike Mo, man. He played for the Jets, man. I dislike Mo.
Vontae made Mo look extra good, but Mo is a really good quarterback.
He's a heck of an athlete, man. He can play a lot of positions.
Yeah, and short yardage. He was gonna get them yards. He was just gonna roll for it. And the box, they had to load the box, so that helped Vontae as well. So it gave teams some problems.
Man, tell me what you did. When did you start to come into your own? When did you start to come into your own and you start to figure things out? You better than most people out here. You can make a couple plays.
Yeah, so basically in high school, freshman year I played quarterback and defensive back and all that. So I really was just out there to be out there. I had hoop dreams in high school. So
Hoop dreams,
yep. Hoop dreams growing up, yep.
How tall my man is? How about he got hoop dreams? 5'10"?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had hoop dreams, played on a lot of AAU teams and stuff like that. So, I had hoop dreams. I took my sophomore year off from football to focus on basketball. That's how that was. And then, junior year I came back, played football.
Yeah, that's why you came back on, because I remember hearing about Ballard, but I remember not having any players, and you came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I came back junior year, I played football to get out of basketball workouts and conditioning and stuff, summer workouts. So, I came back out there, and, I couldn't play quarterback on the varsity level. I just didn't have it arm-wise. So, I moved to defensive back and played corner and had a pretty successful year my junior year. And, started to get college interest. So, I'm like,
Who was your first couple of guys? I said guys. Who was your first couple of colleges that sparked a little interest in you? Spoke to you?
Mostly FCS schools like Southern Illinois and Murray State. All the local schools, Eastern Kentucky and all of them started coming around. And basketball, I was hearing from like D3 schools, and hearing that D1 school in football, I'm like, hold on, I need to take it serious.
What would you tell the kids right now? Not even tell the kids. What would you tell people right now about being a two-sport athlete in high school? Is it the best thing to do, or does it distract you from one sport?
A lot of us want to be, a lot of us want to have hoop dreams. A lot of these basketball guys that's in high school right now, they football. They can really be successful in the football field.
I seen that one kid, man. He was going viral on Twitter. The dude that be with LeBron's son.
Yeah, like 7 foot.
Man, that boy
could go first round on the
round.
O line or D line.
Come on, man.
That athletic.
I mean, that's scary.
Athletic, 7 foot point guard. Come on now.
That's neither here nor there, but Two-sport athlete, man. Did you think about playing baseball?
Nah, I thought about playing track, but once basketball was over with, football started. I didn't really have time to do too much because I was so locked in to getting my workouts from my personal trainer in my spare free time. So
Who you train with?
I trained with different people growing up, like Carlos Collins and Chris Vaughn and a few other different
guys in the city that's been doing it for, man.
Kind of, but for the most part, I was on my own, So,
mm-hmm. So when your senior year came around, was it more so just you wanting to get it?
Crazy thing about my senior year came around, we got a new defensive back coach at Ballard, and
you look like you could play DB, bro.
Yeah, he seen me as an athlete, no technique. So, he kind of had somebody out there that was a first-year varsity player at corner because of their technique was better. So, I went back over to the other side of the ball, and that's when I took receiver serious, and I did pretty good. I have about 3 or 4 targets a game with like 1 or 2 touchdowns, So
okay.
I did all right at receiver.
Were you still playing? You was playing defense at the same time, though?
A little bit, barely.
And this
when the other corner got torched, I come in.
Okay,
you feel me?
So you coming to save the day for Ballard, for the Bruins.
But he didn't want to start me off and give me a lot of reps at DB because I did my own thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, you was at Ballard when Keelan Martin and Snyder was there.
Yep.
I mean, y'all was dominant for a minute.
Yeah.
Ballard was running it up for
Levon Holland. Yep.
Yeah, y'all was running it up for a minute. He was a hooper.
Yeah.
He was a hooper. Wasn't he number 30?
Yep.
Dude was a hooper. Levon.
Yeah, three out of my 4 years at Ballard, we went to a state championship in basketball. So yeah, it was pretty good school.
I remember y'all was playing St. X, and it was at St. X, and come from out of bounds, they threw an alley-oop to Devontae Parker, dog, and he almost broke the rim. That's when I knew he was probably the toughest in the city, and we almost lost to him again that year in football. But y'all never beat us. Y'all stink.
Yeah.
Man, going to after your senior year, you are making decisions right now to go to college. What are your top, 3 to 4 schools that you're choosing from, and what made you just say, I'm going to just be a preferred walk-on and go on to U of L?
So basically, my story, I had took an official visit. I only took one official visit my senior year, and that was to Southern Illinois, but they never
SIU?
Yep. They never offered me the full scholarship on the table, like here's the full scholarship. If they did, I would have probably committed on the spot. But, they didn't offer me the full scholarship. They was waiting to see what other recruits would do to see, because at the FCS level, you can only have a certain amount of full scholarships, so you got to split a lot of them up into like partial scholarships or whatnot. So, it ended up coming.
That's petty, for real.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money that you could be giving out to these players
exactly.
at that level. It don't matter what you are. If a kid got enough talent to get a scholarship, man, give them that money. Let them go to school, man.
Exactly. And so basically, I guess they was, targeting a defensive back that, had a couple of stars on his name. So he ended up signing the full scholarship, and then they ended up reaching back out to me, trying to work me somewhat of a partial, just, trying to give me some money so I wouldn't have to pay everything out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was cool with that. I was like, I'm gonna wait it out, see, maybe take a D2 route, because D2 schools is blowing me up coming to my school trying to get me. But
are they offering you though? Or are they just calling you?
Yeah, Lindsey Wilson, all them D2 schools, they all was on me, and I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, I gotta go. I can play D1,
Okay.
Some level of D1.
See what made U of L the spot.
So basically, I'm talking to D2 schools, and that's becoming a possibility. Go there for free, do what I love to do. You feel me? Not put stress on my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a few weeks later, after this process, after everyone that's committed and everything, signing days passed. Coach Bedford, he was with Coach Strong. He shows up to Ballard.
Defense coordinator.
Yep.
Vance Bedford.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was a cool dude. Yep. He shows up and talks to my high school coach, Mike Jackson at the time. And he's like, yeah, they compared me to another walk-on receiver that was very successful at Louisville named Scotty Radcliffe. So,
Okay. What year was he?
I know he had played at Trinity and went to Louisville. He was a couple years before me, so I know his senior year at Louisville was probably when they went to the Sugar Bowl. So the year before I got there was his senior year. And, he was a walk-on that earned a scholarship, had a lot of time at Louisville, caught touchdowns, somebody who wasn't the most physically gifted, but did his part and was able to contribute. Someone they can count on. So he kind of seen me as that. I could be that guy. So when he talked
and this
to
is Coach Bedford coming to see
Coach
you.
Bedford, yep. When he talked to my coach, he was like, he could always start off at receiver, and we could transfer him to defensive back if receiver don't work out. But we want him to start at receiver. So Louisville, I mean, the whole season before, my parents got season tickets. We second row up, and I'm just watching the games, never thinking that I'd be able to play on Louisville. So when he said that, everything else was just out the picture. I'm like,
I'm going.
I'm going
no matter what you do. And I'm at home.
Yep. Sit down with my parents. They knew that they was gonna have to pay out of pocket for me to go here, but they had a serious talk with me, and they was like, if this is what you're gonna do and you're gonna take it serious, then we all invested. That's an investment.
So you go to U of L. You are in the city. You at home, man. Your friends are here. Your family's here. Ballard's here. What in your mind was the biggest adjustment coming from Ballard Bruin being a Louisville Cardinal? Now you in practice every day with these guys who aren't from Louisville at all. These guys from everywhere in the world, and they just as good as athletes as you, and they ready to bust your head every chance they get. How you feeling in practice? And you a walk-on.
So basically, I had the athletic ability to compete, but I was very raw, coming from, the kids out of Florida and Texas. They got so much development. They got better trainers, they just so far ahead physically and mentally. Like they've been around football all their life. Like the right way, We just get thrown out there and we the best athletes, top athletes in Louisville, and that's just that.
Yeah, eat.
No technique, no skill development. We don't got nobody teaching us X and O's here in Louisville, So when I got there, that was the biggest difference. They was just players, So I'm just learning the game. I'm just like, I ain't never seen some of this stuff that's going on. So, freshman year I was a walk-on. I knew I was going to redshirt. I was hoping that they didn't just throw me out there and burn my redshirt, because I knew I wasn't going.
It's a different speed in college. Yeah. When you come from high school, man, and you get out there on that field, it's a whole different. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different speed. It's a different mindset. You got to go. We got to prepare every week, taking tests in the hotel. People don't understand.
Yeah, so I got to Louisville. I was like, 160 on a good day, So I'm like undersized. You feel me? So I'm like, I'm really hoping I can get redshirt so I can develop, not basically waste a year with you feel me, a couple snaps on special teams, So basically, training camp and all that, I was making plays. We had scrimmage, I had a couple touchdowns in the scrimmages, and so I started to raise eyebrows at Louisville with Coach Strong and them. So they seen that I can play, but they seen I was very raw. So I know as a walk-on and a red shirt, they still dressed me for every game my freshman year at Louisville, and I traveled with the team, had on full gear. Thought they was gonna blow my red shirt a couple times. We was up.
Somebody get hurt or something. Y'all blowing somebody out.
We blowing somebody out. They pulled me, told me get ready a couple times, but I'm just hoping like, nah, like don't put me in. But I can't pass it up. Because if I touch the field, I'm getting a scholarship. You feel me?
A lot of people don't understand when you're a freshman. And the difference between you being a freshman and you being a true freshman, man, it all can happen in 5 to 10 minutes on the sideline.
An injury, anything.
An injury. Yep. Now your red shirt's burned. You ain't got that year no more. Yep. Honestly, when I look back on it, I say to myself, damn, I should have red shirted all the time. All the time. I should just red shirted, lifted, got big, got more flexible.
So you came out at 17, huh?
Man, I came out. My last time I played was 15, but as a freshman in 13 when I first got in, I was I need to be on the field. I don't care what nobody's talking about, man. I need to get noticed. I need to get seen. Yeah. And it's not a bad thing.
It's not. Yeah.
It's, it comes with it. Yeah. It comes with it. You live and you learn. But how was it redshirting though, man?
So redshirting wasn't always the easiest. You gotta mentally stay prepared as I came here to get a scholarship, so I really don't want to be redshirting, but I really want to develop. So it's it puts you in a bind, I just got to make the plays and practice and show coaches that I belong. So when next year come around, or whenever my time is, they know I can play and they know I'll be ready to go. So, I went I did scout team every day for a whole year straight, you know, going against people like Calvin Pryor, Charles Gaines, you know, Terrell Floyd. So I was going against some dogs. Going against some dogs.
And Pryor was an animal. I mean, hey, he was a key force in that defense.
I think that year we had like 5 first-round picks on the defense. Like I was going against some dogs every day. So
okay. Oh, that's what makes me think. So you was out there against I won't butcher his name because you know how to say it because you played with him. But Jair Alexander, is that how you say his name?
Yep.
Oh man, he's a heck of. I watched him this whole year playing for Green Bay, and I could only imagine what a first round corner talent is like. What you seeing in practice every day. That's what you going up against.
Yep.
How was that?
It was amazing. You know, he always brought it to practice. He was the most athletically out of like every skill position. He's a true 4'3", you know.
Okay.
He's a flyer.
Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
He flies. He's always active, you know, high energy, you know, never moping or no negative energy on the field. You know, he's always high energy.
Always want to practice that.
Athletic all over the field. Basically just in the right spot, just 100% effort every play. So, you know, being around him and other guys like that got me better every day, and I was just learning from them, and I'm sure they learned a couple things from me. I gave them a couple good looks and stuff and get them ready for the game.
Nah, don't say you gave a couple good looks, man. You got your wins in, man.
You know, I got,
people don't understand that one-on-ones in practice, man. This is football.
Well, yeah, they know, but you know, I'm gonna keep it on the humble.
Nah, man. That's be cool, man.
I'm gonna keep it on the humble. Nah, they know.
You got your dubs there. Respect.
They'll tell people. You know, they ain't gonna hide it.
So what made you when did you come to the decision that you found out that you – I said, when did you come to the decision that you found out? When did you decide that you were going to leave and go to Tennessee Tech?
So, you know, after my redshirt freshman year, we gets back from the bowl game, and, you know, Charlie Strong talking to me, you know.
Redshirt freshman, you're a sophomore in the class
he's
right
talking
now.
about, you know, I'm going to give you a scholarship. You know, I can see you contribute on special teams and probably getting some run at a receiver. So, you know, we come back. And he's a no-show, you know. He ups and leaves everybody. So, you know, we get Bobby Petrino in, you know, and now everything's a fresh start. You know, ain't no starters when you get a new coach, you know. So he comes in, and I'm just thinking, like, this could be a great opportunity. He's an offensive minded coach, you know. So I know he's going to throw the ball around. He's a receiver coach, you know. So he got there. I was getting a lot of reps and basically taking a lot of 2 reps. So, you know, I had moved up and was getting thrown in the fire a little bit more, making plays. You know, I played on special teams all 12 games as a redshirt freshman and got a few reps.
Which is important. That's hey, man. You got to – people don't understand. You got to put that time in. You got to put that dirty time in on those special teams. And if you a guy – if you like ball, you're a football player, you'll make the same exact plays that you was going to make on offense and defense on special teams.
Exactly. You just got to be in the right space, right place, and do your assignment, and you're straight.
You're going to make a play.
But yeah, I started all games at special teams, and he threw me in the game sometimes at receiver, you know, to give a couple guys a blow, but a couple times he left me in there on passing plays. So I'm finna shine on the passing plays, but, you know, I was decoy. But it was just all about just building that comfort, just, you know, getting reps under my belt. So basically that year goes on, the next year goes around. You know, we just got out of camp. We getting ready to play Auburn, the season opener that year. Lamar's freshman.
That was in Atlanta, wasn't it?
Yep, Lamar's freshman year, you know. So he calls me to his office and he offers me a scholarship, you know, had a scholarship on the table. So I signed it. And basically from there, He took me a little bit more serious. Like, he ain't no walk-on. Like, he can actually play receiver. Yeah, he was like, he ain't no walk-on. He can actually play receiver.
You feel like there's a difference between – and, I mean, as players, we sometimes forget it because we work out with each other so much. But you feel like coaches look at you a little different when you got that scholarship behind your name.
It's an investment. They want the people they invest into. If you ain't putting no money into nothing, you ain't looking toward that too much unless it's just – getting your attention, like it's just shining over everything, you know.
You just look at the luck of the draw.
Yep. So, you know, when I got the scholarship, you know, I kind of locked in that 2 spot. You know, I was kind of like a permanent backup. Like, you know, he stopped looking at me like he's just a walk on. So, you know, going the whole summer, you know, I was taking 1 reps, 2 reps, just flipping back and forth. You know, nothing really consistent, but you know, I was still making the plays that came to me. basically going into that game, I was a 2. You know, James Quick goes down in the third quarter. You know, and he suffered like an ankle injury or something, and I was next up. You know, so at that time, Lamar was truly a running quarterback.
He was Lamar. He was out there going crazy.
He was truly a running quarterback. So, you know, I ended up getting like about 30, 35 snaps that second half. You know, I was just out there. Lamar's taking off, you know.
Hey,
I was out there.
For a long time, man, watching him from wherever we was at that week.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I could only imagine, because I would come home, I would see y'all boys on campus, because I would be down there fooling with y'all. But just the energy that y'all had around, man, that's an unmatched feeling right there, especially in the city.
It was crazy. Some of the athletes I played with, like you mentioned Jair, Lamar, like it was just great talent out there. Just guys who worked hard every day. And there was another guy, Brandon Radcliffe. He really
running back, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really doesn't get a lot of mention or anything, but he really like led the team.
Oh yeah,
based off effort. Like he'll get the ball. Maybe the coach wanted him to go finish like 10 or 15 yards. He finished into the back of the end zone full speed. So when he got in the game, it was just normal. Like we already seen that, huh?
Real strong guy.
Real strong. Took the weight room really serious.
Yeah,
you know, always pushing himself. So you know, it was guys like him as well. And you know, so back to the season. So you know, I played 35 snaps. Really didn't have any assignment issues or nothing, but really didn't make no plays, so I didn't really, you know.
You didn't do what you wanted to do.
I didn't really get the coach's attention like that. I was just out there just running, basically, you know, so I didn't really separate myself from any other receivers. So, you know, next game comes around, all the guys is back, you know, so that 35 cuts down to about 10, you know, and not really injuries, so I ended up just, you know, just sitting back, just basically being a reserve, so, you know. We got to the bowl game, and that's when I start thinking, I'm like, yo, I can really, you know, transfer it down to FCS and just dominate, have more of an opportunity, do kick return, do everything I want to do, you know. I'm not the fastest guy, so you feel me? For me to really get the opportunity, I might have to go to FCS, you know. So basically came back to the bowl game, talked to my parents.
What was your mindset during all of this? What was you like? How was you feeling? How was you walking around
campus?
My
mindset, just been out there with them every day in practice. Is like, bro, it's like I'm dominating out here. Like, I can really go somewhere and, you know, take off and get to the lead. Like, I'm dominating here, and he's not seeing it. You know, I ain't about to sit here and just be a waste of talent and just say I was just somebody that played at Louisville. You know,
betting on yourself.
Yep, betting on myself. So, you know, just thinking. I had a lot of free time after that. I'm just like, yo, I can really go somewhere and make a name for myself, maximize my career, you know, because once football's over, it's over with. You feel me? You ain't going to be able to just keep bouncing around. So I don't want to have any regrets. So that's when I'm thinking, like, I can go FCS. So I'm thinking FCS. And that was kind of my way of thinking going into U of L. I'm like, even if I go to U of L and nothing works out, I can always transfer down to FCS and play right away. And I'll be developed at a higher level.
It's good that you already, I wouldn't say that you had it planned, but you already had that as something that could possibly happen.
Yeah, it was in my back pocket the whole time. Yep, I already talked about it. So
a lot of dudes give up.
It was definitely a possibility, and we talked about that before I even went to Louisville. We talked about what if you never even get a scholarship, like you might have to go somewhere else. We talked about all the possibilities. So, you know. After that, I was a redshirt sophomore, so, you know, I had 2 more years left. I'm thinking, like, I can go somewhere and make the most out of my 2 years. So I goes up to Bobby Petrino's office, and I talked to him, and, you know, he really didn't have too much to say.
When you brought him to him that you might be leaving and transferring, that you've been thinking about it, was it any conversation? Was it a blank? Was it dry?
So basically – Bobby Petrino, he pressured me, to be honest with you. He pressured me. He was basically like, you know, I can take your scholarship now and make you pay for the rest of the semester. Like, on some jerk stuff, you feel me? So he's like, are you really sure that's what you want to do? Have you talked to your parents? So I go out there, I call my parents, and I'm like, you know, he said if they take my scholarship, y'all going to have to pay for the rest of the semester, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, my parents is like, if that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do it. Like,
That shows you just mentally where they see where people lie to them. It's for not lie as far as me telling them to feel anything, but as far as lie where you stand at with me. Yeah. Yes, I gave you a scholarship and whatever, but you just a reserve. How dare you go transfer on me? Like
exactly.
That's what you telling me that's what clicked in my mind. That's what you were explaining to me. That's how I heard it coming out. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but
he was basically like, I just gave you a scholarship. You should be happy, and that should be what you want. Just play football for free or go to school for free. Like, that's all you should want. I'm like, nah, I don't want that. I want to go somewhere where I can be productive. And I even told him that. And he was like, well, you could be productive here, and you just got to take advantage of your snaps and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, man, like, just, you feel me? Give me my release. I'm gonna show you what I'm ready to do. You feel me? And so basically after I got my release, I talked to SEMO on the line, and they said they got the full scholarship for me. I'm gonna take an official visit the same weekend and move in on that Monday.
Missouri State.
Yep. Take a visit Friday to Sunday and move in on campus on Monday and start for that spring semester. So I'm like, cool. I'm getting everything together.
Root to the eighth.
I talk to my friends like TJ and everyone. I'm talking to them. I'm like, yo, about to have a little going away, a little something. So the day before I'm supposed to leave on a Friday. We had a get together thing on a Thursday. They called me back and said they're not going to be able to give me a full scholarship. So basically, what they did
at your get together, they called you and told you.
Nah. The next morning when I was supposed to head out.
I was about to say.
When I was supposed to head out, getting addresses, got my whole place packed, getting addresses, like.
And they just called you and was like, nah.
Checking in with them one more time before I get on the road, and they like, we ain't gonna be able to give you a full scholarship. We can give you a partial.
And this is after you done packed up your whole room.
Packed up everything, ready to go. Get ready for spring ball. Just ready to go.
Off of their word.
So yeah, they told me that, and basically they had offered an incoming freshman and gave him a full scholarship. So they gave me a partial, because they felt like I didn't do too much at Louisville to be giving me a full scholarship. I went in as a walk-on. I ended up getting a scholarship there, but I wasn't really productive.
Okay.
So they offered a freshman that came in. He's also from Louisville.
Okay. Well, shout out to who is it?
I think he played at Mill. Receiver. He played at Mill.
One of the young cats. Yeah. Mel's been on the run. I just moved back to the city, so I don't really know what's going on. But when I was in high school, man, Mel stink. We ain't never lose the Mel. We beat the brakes off Mel every year. Yeah. But right now, they got the torch. Yeah. So basically, they offered him the full scholarship. So I'm thinking like, nah, I'm not about to go here for a partial scholarship when I was just on full scholarship at Louisville. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm just gonna have to be patient. So I unpacked my stuff. I'm going to U of L as a regular student now. And you feel me? I'm just trying to figure things out. What's on your mind, man? You walking now?
I'm like, I'm gonna have to go somewhere. Even if it's D2, but I'm gonna wait it out a little bit. I'm like, I'm going somewhere to play ball. So I stayed in shape. I even had a hunger, a fire built up in me. Just ready to go. And 2 weeks later, Tennessee Tech coach Riscotti, he had played at U of L as a quarterback, and his family lives in Louisville, and they was like, they had seen somewhere that I had got my release, and basically told him that they should look at me, So
man,
he had just got the job at Tennessee Tech, so he reaches out to me, takes a home visit with me, sends me up there on an official visit and stuff like that. So everything was cool, and I committed to Tennessee Tech, and
on the official visit, there you went there.
I didn't even wait no other schools out. I was just like, I just need the opportunity. I don't care where it's at.
So your first official year at Tennessee Tech was the head coach's first year at Tennessee Tech.
Marcus Satterfield. Yep. He came from Temple. He played under Matt Rule. Yep. Reggie Bonafon's new coach.
Okay, that's also the new guy. I hope I don't mess it up. That's also the new guy at Temple right now, Adazio.
Who's that?
Well, he was the coach there. Now he's at Colorado State. Okay. Come here, Cam.
Yeah. So
Tennessee Tech. So you went crazy. I did see your return against Mercer. I went to the game against EKU where you dogged them out.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling now? You at Tennessee Tech, you're doing everything that you know you're capable of doing, but you didn't get the opportunity at U of L.
So going into Tennessee Tech, just talking with my parents after I done committed, they like, you know, you coming from Louisville, you used to being pushed. You know, when you come here, you're not gonna be pushed as hard. So it's all on what you put into it, basically. So you're just gonna have to be headstrong and, you know, put in extra work like you've been doing before this without any guidance or, you know, just different feel going to FCS from a big school. So, you know, I went there. I wasn't eligible to start working out with them until June. So, you know, I was doing my own stuff, just excited, just ready to go,
just
working out more, you know.
That's
so
it.
Once I got there, you know, I just became a gym rat. And that's really when it kicked in. I became a gym rat, and I'm like, you know, I'm finally happy playing football. You know, I had a little fun in Louisville, but it wasn't the fun that I really wanted to have, like enjoy myself being on the football field. So, you know, I went through the whole off season with Tennessee Tech, you know, and I tell people this all the time, the way they do single digits there that other teams don't do, like uniforms, you got to vote on the single digits. So the first 1 through 9 is the 9 hardest workers off the off season. So, you know, they
tell them what number you ended up with, man. Tell them what number you ended up with.
No, Uno, both years.
Oh no, both years, man.
Years.
Represent. Okay.
But yeah, your coaches got to vote and your teammates got to vote on you. So, you know, I was definitely honored to get number 1 because, you know, a couple guys on the team felt the type of way because I was a newbie. I came in June, and, you know, 2 months later I'm getting number 1 when they'd been here through the whole off season. But, you know, I basically just taking that time off and coming from Louisville, I had a different fire than, you know, some of the guys that had been
chip
there.
On your shoulder, man.
You know, they couldn't relate to what I done already been through. They just relate to them, you know, taking the red shirt there and just being comfortable knowing that they're better than a couple guys, you know. But just coming from Louisville, I had a different fire. And when I went to Tennessee Tech, it wasn't many distractions. It was country town, you know.
Where's it at? Where's it located?
Cookeville, Tennessee, in between Knoxville and Nashville. You can get anywhere in 5 minutes in Cookeville, you know. It was basically like, you know, it was straight school and football. They had one bar, one club, you know.
Nothing.
Tuesday and Thursday, nothing on the weekends,
Nothing.
you know. So it was just straight football and school. So
you end up winning Newcomer of the Year for that conference, didn't you?
Yep, Newcomer of the Year. Yep, and I was second team All-State. I mean, second team All-Conference. The first year that I was there, my junior year, probably got snugged up. I definitely got snugged up first team.
Okay.
First team, but
okay. So you winning these accolades at Tennessee Tech, balling out, and Judgment Day comes around. We all know Judgment Day is once pro days coming, draft days coming. What's on your mind right now? And do you think you're gonna be drafted? And how you feel when you go undrafted?
Man, so. Go back to my junior year. So, you know, kind of just, you know, had a great season my junior year, and then we went up against Tennessee Knoxville on their homecoming.
You balled out that game.
They had, you know, Derek Barnett, and they had, you know,
balled out that game. I watched that game on TV.
Game, you know, had one of my best games ever. So after that game, I'm like, you know, I could play in the NFL, you know. So after that moment, I'm like, I'm trying to get drafted.
Is through the roof.
Yeah, it's through the roof. It kind of, you know, slingshotted me through the next year, went All-American the senior year, you know, kind of helped me with all that senior year, just dominating and just being comfortable. My confidence was through the roof. So, you know, going through the senior year, I had, you know, NFL scouts just coming to my practices every day and just, you know, 3 teams a week. And I'm just
you
like,
feeling good,
I'm
man.
like, I might get drafted, you know. So I get ready for my pro day and stuff. I went to Cincinnati Ignition, just getting ready there, and went to pro day, killed it on the bench press, you know, did 21 reps on the bench press.
They thought you was weak.
36 vertical, you know, 10-1 broad jump. The 40, the only thing that held me back from getting drafted, it was people had all their own times, you know, everyone's thumb is different. So,
What
you
feel
know,
you ran?
I had from a beginning of a 4.5 all the way to a 4.6, you know, and basically like.
It made bad numbers. How tall you say you was?
Like 5'10".
5'10". It made bad numbers, man. 5'10".
But you know, my height my height, they thinking 4'3", 4'4", and you drafted. But a lot of teams, and even the Falcons who took a chance on me as a preferred free agent, type of deal. They say you play a lot faster than your 40 time shows. So they was one of the teams that took a chance on me, and I think my agent committed to them kind of early, so I went with them. And he called me back watching the draft. So go back to watching the draft. Watching the draft, it's stressful. I'm thinking I'm going to get drafted. I didn't talk to teams leading up to the draft.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, of course I'm not a day one draft guy, not even a day two, but, maybe toward the end of the draft I might get a phone call 6th, 7th round late, you feel me? And just sitting there watching, he could tell you we was all together just watching, seeing a lot of guys. I done played in All-Star game, the NFLPA game. I'm seeing a lot of
guys get taken off the board.
That I done dominated. I'm like, seeing them going 3rd, 4th round. And I'm just like,
man.
what? I'm like, he get drafted? Like, they getting drafted. But,
it comes with it, man.
I ain't never hating on nobody else. Everyone deserves it. I don't know no one's story, so, I ain't never really taking it away from them or anything. I'm just
not taking nothing away from nobody, man. When you come on this show, you can pop your shit as hard as you want to, man. Just
been on the field, and I even like save clips to send to my parents, and I'm just like, I done killed them for a whole week, and they getting drafted.
Mama, look at your son embarrassing this man out here.
3rd or 4th round, I'm just sick. I'm like, just stay positive. It's coming. The whole draft go by. Didn't get a call. You feel me? And then like 10 minutes after the draft, my agent called me and said you're gonna be Atlanta Falcon. So basically I got there.
This is 10 minutes after the draft.
After the draft was over.
Wow. So, I mean, you basically got drafted, sir.
Basically, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Some guys got tryouts. Some guys had to wait a couple of days to hear what they was gonna go. I was fortunate to hear 10 minutes after the draft, and it was very exciting. It felt like I got drafted when he told me.
Yeah.
I was happy. I just needed opportunity either way. I'm like, this goes back to my freshman year of college. I just need an opportunity. Like I'm just back to the starting gate, So when I went to rookie mini camp, I went in there and we had a lot of receivers, but
how are you getting through all this? What's pushing you? What's motivating you through all of this? Because you transferred from U of L to Tennessee Tech.
Yeah.
You ball out at Tennessee Tech. You have this waiting game now of Judgment Day. They say you ran a low 4.6. They say you ran in the mid 4.5s, whatever the case may be. And now, 10 minutes after the draft, boom, you on the NFL roster. You going down to Atlanta.
Yep.
Man, what's pushing you? What's motivating you?
So, just always just got that chip on my shoulder. I just want to prove people wrong. And I still got Bobby Petrino on the back of my head when I'm on the field. I'm like,
use anything as motivation, man.
He gonna see what he missed out on, and he just one example. A lot of people like, oh, he going to Louisville. He just gonna, he's just gonna go 4 years, done.
Just burn out.
Just a good local, good player, So just a lot of things driving me. Maybe that was false accusations on me of what people were thinking, but I use that as motivation,
Yeah.
But
writing your own narrative.
But yeah, when I got to Atlanta, I was excited all the way up until I got there. But when I got there, I was like, I got to refocus. I got to tap back in, because I don't want this opportunity to go to waste. So when I was a rookie, we had a rookie mini camp and went in there. It was just all rookies, comfortable, just going against other rookies that just got out of college. So we not throwing in the fire yet, but we are going at an NFL tempo. So, I got there and I was making plays from inside and outside receivers. So basically just showing I was versatile. And the more plays I made, the more confidence I gained. And, we had a big gap in between when the rookies went with the vets and everything. So after rookie minicamp was like 3 days.
But did y'all get to watch some practice or be around and see the vets?
So basically after the 3-day rookie minicamp, they had a cut and they cut half of the rookies, It was a small group of us going with the vets now. So we have a gap and we just doing rookie training and all that stuff, just getting used to the league. They come in They come in, OTAs, their starting lineup, they got their starting lineup, so they're going, and we just like behind, and we just getting thrown in the fire, like just ready. You never know. Julio might want to go to whole practice one day. He might not want to go to practice, so you just got to be ready.
Yeah, and this is the question I asked Reggie when he was here, but I'm gonna ask you. You've played for how many teams?
It's gonna be my fourth CFL.
It's your fourth in the CFL, and right now you play for the Tigercats, the Hamilton Tigercats.
Hamilton Tigercats, yep.
Man, first of all, was that 5 teams, 4 teams?
4 teams, yep.
Who is somebody that you've played with or somebody that you've seen and everything that they cracked up to be, everything you see on their social media, everything that they write about them, cracked up to be?
Julio Jones. Julio Jones.
Without a question.
He's a freak of nature, and, it's just crazy. It's just like when us in Louisville, we go to Churchill Downs and we watch the horses, and we like to get close so we can, get the vibration in the field. It's the same thing with Julio.
Exactly.
When you're on the field, he's a horse. Like, he gets places, and his stride is just so long. He's so explosive, fast, big, like basically like a creative player out there. It's just different watching him play, and just
Is he just he's miles ahead, just head and shoulders above everybody else?
Yeah, I don't really be out there like a fan, but it's crazy some of the stuff he do. But then again, we all on the same level, and I can't get starstruck, and I can't, you feel me? I gotta hold my own out here as I'm out the door, you feel me? I don't got time to be getting starstruck. So, I'm peeping the things he's doing, learning from him. He was cool dude, treated the rookies like we was vets, you feel me?
Yeah.
Him and Muhammad Sanu, I got a lot of reps behind Sanu the whole offseason. I was going with the twos, so I was getting thrown out there. A couple reps with Matt Ryan, most of my reps was with the twos with Matt Schaub, and then the rookie Ben Kurt at the time. We was going in together. So, just learning from them guys, like Muhammad Sanu would take the rookies to his house, pay for us to get haircuts, just be around us, just get us comfortable.
Okay, Muhammad Sanu, you get a real card for them. You get snapped for that.
So, it was cool just being around them, and, they was in my ear, they was saying us good stuff I was doing and stuff,
Now who's somebody who we don't see in the tabloids, who we don't see on social media, but in between them white lines is just a complete problem. A dog in between them white lines right now. Put the ball down right now.
Deion Jones, the linebacker.
Oh yeah. He was balling in the Super Bowl. Before y'all.
He ran a 4.4 at Pro Day, but every day in practice I seen that 4.4.
Jesus.
Wasn't nobody getting behind him.
They missed him for a while.
He was
like
all
last
over.
Year, I think it was.
Yep, he was all over the field every day in practice. Punching the ball out. He might accidentally punch your arm.
How big is he?
He's just everywhere. He ain't too big. He's a hybrid. He ain't too big, undersized.
That's what the league's coming to. Every linebacker's like it. Tampa Bay's linebackers.
He's sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone. He's everywhere.
LSU, right?
Yeah, LSU. He's just everywhere. But
man, tell me, right now, what's your mindset? What's your mindset right now going to Canada? What's your goals? Are you trying to be the best receiver there? Are you trying to win a championship?
So basically, XFL, when they sent us home due to the virus, they end up folding the league, filing bankruptcy and all that. But I had been in touch with Canada since I had the same team since I had came out of college. They offered me a couple times, and I didn't have other opportunities, but I felt like this was the right time and a right time for me to go over there, and so I signed a one year deal with Canada. So, they feel like that was the best for me to sign too, with me being young and still having a shot to go back to NFL. So,
and there was somebody that's just always just kept contact
me, the same person every time. This is the third time they offered me the contract. So this time I was just like, he reached out to me, and I was just like, come on, let's do it. I ain't
give me over there, man.
Like my agent, I'm telling my agent, me and my agent on the same page. We good. Like this is a perfect time. I didn't get to play a full season at XFL. Season was cut short. I need to go somewhere where I can play a guaranteed full season. And Canada, they play like 23-something. They got 23-something weeks, you know. So if I can't ball in 23 weeks,
you gotta make some plays, man.
If I can't make plays in 23 weeks, then something's wrong, you know. So
when you head out,
so the border opens June 21st. Yesterday was the first time they opened facilities back open. They started workouts yesterday for the people who's in Canada. So
how you feel about that? Right now, we supposed to be quarantining. We're supposed to be on lockdown. The virus supposed to be out here. The police is out here killing us. I mean, how you feeling right now? How you feeling about that?
I definitely have done my part with protesting and stuff, and I feel like it's a lot going on. Yes, I do understand that what's going on is very serious, but at the end of the day, I got a family to feed too. So you know, it's kind of you got to balance it out, but you don't want to not pay attention to what's going on, but you don't want to lose yourself in paying attention to what's going on. You know, you got to stay focused and.
That's a hard question to answer, and it's a hard decision to make. I feel like listening to what Kyrie Irving had to say today, I was like, oh, when I first heard, I'm like, you know, he's right, but then doubling back and hearing what I think it was Austin Rivers had to say back to him, I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense too, because a lot of those guys probably doing to feed their family and living paycheck to paycheck like they said they was, but. It's just interesting. It's interesting right now, man, because we had a point in the U.S. where we can make a monumental change right now as a culture, as a people. I'm not gonna say basketball is a distraction because that's the way people feed their family, so it can't be that much of a distraction. But
it's definitely. I definitely think basketball and sports should continue to go on. We can't lose focus. We can't lose sight of what's going on and just put it as. You know, just turn our head away from it. But at the end of the day, people got careers and they got families, and, you know, people been working their whole life for these opportunities. And, you know, like me, I kind of depend on football. Like, that's my way of life. That's
all you know.
I do have a plan B in my back pocket, but plan A is still in motion.
Plan A still rocking right now.
Plan A is still in motion. As long as I can still operate, my body feel good, injury-free, you know, Plan A is still here, so
we ain't gonna talk too much about it, but I want to know what is Plan B. Just because on this show we highlight the passions outside of your preferred sport.
So you know, I'm very into giving back. So my way of giving back is I want to be a coach. You know, I feel like I didn't learn too much. I have my own personal experience. I done been on multiple teams, multiple coaches. You know, I got too much knowledge on the sport.
On what your passion is. You got too much.
Perseverance, just a lot of stuff. Like I can relate to my players. I could be a young coach, you know, that relates to the players. You know, kind of you see these older coaches, we can't really relate to them. They kind of outdated, and
outdated.
It's just they style of play, and you know. So I just feel like
you got to be relatable as a coach, and that's where I feel like a lot of universities fail.
Yeah.
As a kid going to a college, if I feel like I'm not comfortable with you as a coaching staff, I'm not comfortable with the players, I'm not excited about the facilities.
You don't trust.
I don't trust anything that's going on. Then oh no, we're not gonna have a good season. I'm not gonna want to come here. None of that. But as a coach, if your player can come to you and not be afraid to talk to you, not be afraid to tell you what's going on, he missed home, he's homesick, then you don't have the right type of team. You're not the right type of coach. You need to look in the mirror and reevaluate yourself a little bit.
And I also want to be a coach because I want to come back and recruit the Louisville kids. You know, they get overlooked, you know, and that's gonna be my first stop. I ain't going to Florida. I'm coming back home to get the Louisville kids because it's just something about the athletes that we have here that do take it serious. You know, we got that chip on our shoulder. We just ain't got no. They not about to give us a 4 or 5-star recruit because of our competition, but they don't realize that the talent that we do produce can compete with anybody.
It's a mindset. It's all a mindset thing.
It's all a mindset.
Man, this Muhammad Ali just bleeds all over the city. That's just what it is. For decades, centuries, whatever you want to call it. I got probably 2 more questions for you. Then we're gonna get out of here. One is, what is Speedy Results? Tell me about that. What is Speedy Results?
So basically, you know, when I got to Tennessee Tech, I went with the nickname Speedy because, you know, most of my routes was deep routes and I was getting past defenders. And, you know, people, you know, started listing me as like really fast and you play really fast and stuff like that. So I just came up with the nickname Speedy, you know, Speedy Bird, you know. So basically, in this free time, you know, I had a lot of dissecting, and I'm like, Plan B with coaching could come in effect if Canada League got canceled this season. You know, I could go and be a GA for a year and kind of get that under my belt so I can get rolling once football's done. So
exactly.
I'm like, right in the meantime, I could be training people because since I didn't stepped on the NFL field, people were like, you know, when you going to train my kid? When you going to train that? And, you know, I'm always in the weight room around different trainers, different coaching staff. So I just kind of felt like that's what I wanted to do. My fifth year at Tennessee Tech, I took a class training for performance. So, you know, I kind of just took that class.
Got some experience in it a little bit.
Yeah, I got some experience. Took that class. Didn't take it as serious as I probably should have, but
you think about that now? As you're training kids, you didn't take it as serious as you should have.
Didn't take it as serious as that. Like this could be an option type of deal. Like I didn't take it as serious in a way of like this could be an option type of deal. I took it serious, of course. I graduated from Tennessee Tech with a 3.9. You know.
Okay.
So I took every class.
Talk, man. Talk. Let them know.
Yeah, took every class serious. You know, but I didn't realize that was what I was gonna do. You know, I was in the class, I was active and attentive, but you know, I didn't think like, oh, I'll be training guys. I always thought I would be a coach, you know, because of my knowledge and all that, but I didn't think I would be training. So you know, just been back home, going to different gyms, training at different gyms during the quarantine, you know, and just seeing what they do, and I'm like, yo, like this could be a possibility for me. So you know, I'm like, I reached out to John Giddens, and, you know, I'm working with him. So I took the Speedy Bird.
He's a trainer. John Giddens is a trainer in the city.
Yep, John Giddens. And, you know, I took the Speedy Bird and came up with speedy results because I believe in quick results. You know,
it's a nice play.
Transformation, and it kind of goes along.
Yeah,
you know,
I like the name.
Yeah, speedy results. You know, I don't see it. But basically.
My next question, man. My bad. I didn't mean to cut y'all, big dog. I didn't mean to cut y'all, big dog. I'm just trying to make sure my man goes handle his business. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
So just to get out, we gonna end this day, man. We gonna get out of here. I want to ask you two more questions. I usually ask every guest on here these two questions. It's real simple, easy. I'm going through a long explanation just because I want you to answer it pretty good. Right now, what is your short-term goals, and what is your long-term goals? You ain't gotta go down your whole list for me, but give me at least one for each.
My short-term goal, I would say, is to get back in the NFL and be productive, not just get back there and say I got back there, you know.
Exactly.
And just go there and try out and just say, you know, I went through 2 preseasons with such and such. I don't want to just add it on my resume if it ain't right. You
want more than that.
I want to go there and be productive. That's my short-term goal, to go to the NFL and be productive. My long-term goal is, you know, to be financially stable and have numerous amounts of income and never just settle, never, you know, basically max out everything that God put me on earth to be. You feel me? You know, and just create generational wealth for my family. I got a daughter on the way, so you know, it starts with her. You know,
you a girl dad, man.
Yeah, girl dad.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club, man. I think Kobe Bryant's the head of our club. That's it.
He is.
Yeah,
he's
so
a leader.
Man, I appreciate you coming to show love.
No problem.
This podcast ain't like any other podcast. We come here, we talk about all the things that athletes deal with and all the things that regular people deal with on a regular basis, whether it's through post-grad life, whether it's through finding out your passions after your preferred sport is done, or whether it's just waking up every day and figuring out what you need to do. This is A Pro at Life. I'm Deonte Clyburn. Devin Clyburn, your daddy loves you. Shout out to everybody in Louisville, Kentucky. RP Breonna Taylor. RP Mike Newby, RP George Floyd. These are just the recent acts, and not even the most recent. I just heard somebody just got hanged. I said hanged. Somebody just got hung. Yeah, and I think this was in Atlanta. In Atlanta? California? So what just happened in Atlanta?
Unarmed black man got shot. Unarmed black man got shot and killed,
Hey, black people, make sure you're protecting yourself. Exactly. Make sure you're protecting yourself, man. It's love. This is Deonte Clyburn.
Dontez Byrd,